Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd, just after 8:30. So finally back again in front of the screen. Missed the last few days for some very basic uh, medical procedures. One that I have been dreading and avoiding and would like to have avoided for another 10 years, but I guess you could figure it out by that. I'm a changed man. All right, anyhow. So let's take a look at the news coming out today. We have something I don't even know what it means at 9 a.m. HPI, admittedly, I don't know what that is. Home sales, and then, of course, inventories for today because today is Wednesday. As usual, Wednesdays we expect to be choppy at the open. In a lot of cases, we won't even trade them. However, considering I have not had screen time in the last few days, I said this last week when this happened to me then also when I had to miss a couple of days. Um, I like I like getting as much time in front of the screen as possible, and missing a couple of days. Admittedly, I actually feel like I take many steps back in seeing the chart, reading the chart. So I try to get in front of the screen as much as possible. So even though there is a chance that Wednesdays will become a day I don't trade in the future, I certainly want to gain an extra day of screen time on it today. So if you just give me 1 second, I'm doing a quick bit of multitasking here. Also, I'm going to let the charts load. I actually had not even turned on my charts since I traded on Friday. At the end of Friday, when the data connection turns itself off, I have not even turned it on. So it is just loading up right now, and let's just give that a minute. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I got a quick message I have to respond to. All right. While that loads, let's start adjusting levels here. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so it looks like we've fallen a bit since last we looked at the charts. I believe we were in the 48s to 49s when I last traded. I see that we are down in the 47s, and let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can't find our value areas, VPOCs, overnight VPOCs, swing highs and swing lows. They should be up here. Here we go. So let's just get all these closer to where I need them. Oh, looks like yesterday was a rough day. So here's value area low from yesterday. Looks like we've also come down overnight here. All right, so this chart's going to mess with us. We'll do this on the 60-minute. Put this back the way it needs to be. Okay. All right, so it looks like we had been balancing. What's the last day on this chart? The 17th. Well, that's definitely not right. And date 22nd. I don't know why that I don't know why this chart is showing the 17th here. Hey, wait a minute. A couple of things I don't know. Okay. While that's reloading, let's also bring up Again, just waiting for this to load, sorry. Okay. So let's move value area lines, VPOCs or VPOC, to show information from yesterday. So that gives us what we need there. Now we do need to go onto the trigger chart in order to be able to adjust overnight VPOC. So we see where it's going. Here it is. Let's move it down. Okay. And one more time. So we should have overnight VPOC is displayed. Yesterday's value area high, yesterday's value area low, yesterday's VPOC are all displayed properly. So we do see that we had a push down. Let's scrunch this up a little bit overnight, but let me just at least take a quick look. And it looks like yesterday, same thing. We started out in a range and then drove our way down, continued that push down overnight. All right. Also overnight, we see a clear distribution right here. Here's one distribution down here. It gets separated by this value area, this low volume area, and this pretty much entire upper areas distribution up until here. We could break it off here, but just something to note. This area here, this low volume node coincides with yesterday's low, so we'll get a spot on the chart for that. This low volume node coincides with this former VPOC, so we have a spot on the chart for that. So those are good. You know, we have them on there. They're going to show up. It doesn't matter that they show up as a low volume node or not. They'll show up as a level that we're going to know to pay attention to. So let's go over to our homework chart. And let's see what we could do. Are there any microcomposites that we need to draw? You know, we have started balancing out here. It looks like we're coming down again to test the low of this profile here. This is the profile that, for whatever reason, has bad data. I don't know why. But you could see the high in this profile here. And it looks like this profile here, these are broken for whatever reason. And it happened the day of the rollover. I have no clue why that has happened. I've seen that happen before. As you could see, it kind of just fixes itself, but I've never been able to figure out a way to get that more accurate. So I'm not going to draw a microcomposite just yet. Ultimately, if we do continue to balance in this area, I probably will draw a microcomposite. You know, I guess if we really wanted to, we could draw one across these 3 days here, because those really were balanced in a tight range. Let's take a look at any levels that need to come off the chart. So this is one. This particular level we can see was drawn off of the high here. We tested it, it held. So that stays on, and we're going to add one here at that high. As we come further down, we see that we created a high on this following day, which was yesterday. So we need to mark that off right here. Okay, that has yet to be tested. We actually created a couple here at yesterday's upper value area high. We see that we've had a few points of resistance there. We've tested from beneath, it held, and then we pushed down. I'm not going to bother putting a swing in there because we have yesterday's value area high, so we're gonna use that there for now. We actually could put, you know what, I'm going to take that back. Just in case I don't happen to spot this tomorrow, I should, but just in case I don't, I want to add a level here. Then we come down and we have a low of day from yesterday that we will mark off. And these can get a little bit more fine-tuned on the trigger chart if we see that we're off by a tick or two. Okay. Beneath us really ain't much of anything. Let me see what time it is here. Do I have time? Oh, we got 15 minutes. Let's scroll back a little bit in this price area here, because I don't have levels down here, right? I mean, you could all these red and blue, these are drawn in for me. Those are right. See, those are drawn in by the volume profile indicator that we use. You can see this is a naked VPOC, and that's drawn in automatically. So I'm going to want to get a couple more in here, just to be accurate. I should have some. So here's a low that we have yet to test. This one has been breached, and breached pretty aggressively. There's a high right here that we have yet to test, and let's keep going back and see. So this low here we had already tested, right? We see that we would have hit that right there. So let's keep going back. Okay, so all this in here, within here, we don't really need to draw because we have these swings. We have this swing and this swing telling us the price moved in this channel. Down here we have one that we need to add. I don't really see any good areas to add a microcomposite down in this level, in this price point either. There's no real good areas of balance happening there. So it looks like we have another one down here. And that's as far as we got going back on this chart. In the event we do fall further than this, we have two options. We can treat it almost as an all-time low, although it's not. Just considering how far back we're going, we can treat it as such. The other option would be to load more data, which is what we would do. Load more data and go back and see how things were treated when we were last at this price. So to add, I do want to add a few more points on this chart to pay attention to. And they're going to be the ones that are automatically drawn for us, but I'd like to get them transposed onto our trigger chart. See, when they're drawn automatically by the software, they are not moved over to our trigger chart for us, so I need to do that myself. So we're going to put one here. I'm also going to mark off this guy here, this guy here. We're going to make that red so that matches. Okay. Do the same here. And the same here. So it's hard to say how far down I have to go. I mean, not that I'm expecting to see another 200 tick move. But I guess it happened, so we might as well be prepared for it if it happens again. So we should at least have some levels beneath us to be able to react in the event that's the case. So where does that put us? Okay, I mean, I'm pretty far down. Yeah, we don't have, there's nothing beneath us at this point. Okay. So like I said, if we do end up making a move down that far, we'll add some data. We'll go further back in time and we'll see what we find. All right. So as for some hypotheses, let's scrunch this up a little bit. I mean, I'm showing from where we are now, if we look at 48 even, I'm showing 240 ticks to the top side. So let's crunch this a little more. Okay, that gives us a pretty good range, top to bottom. You know, and truth be told, I don't even need what's above this. I'm all the way up at 51. Okay, let's take a look at where we're trading currently overnight. 47.57. Wow, that is quite the We're back down here, huh? Where is my? Oh, I did not do overnight low and overnight high. Let's go back to the. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll find those. We'll find those levels here. At least we'll find our lines here and drop them down so that they are more visible on our trigger chart. See them right here. So one will be overnight high, one will be overnight low. Okay, and now we can come back. Sorry guys, give me one more second. Okay. So let's see what we got. 9 minutes, plenty of time. Let's take a look one more time. We are trading at just about 47.57, was it, when we were looking last? 47.58. Okay. Let's give ourselves a mark there. We're down right around here. Don't need to be exact. Within a tick or two is just fine. So right off the bat, we see that we're up towards, we're down towards overnight low, okay? And I'm going to scrunch this more because we really do need to see what's happening beneath us. You know, I got to tell you, we get through overnight low. We got some room to drop. It could get ugly. It could get ugly. All right, so let's see. Now, so we're going to start with that as our hypothesis number one. We're going to open, maybe get a little bit of a correction towards these two swings here, fail, push down into this naked VPOC, test overnight low. If this fails, we'll look for a retest of it and ultimately a push down coming in towards this naked VPOC. That's going to be hypothesis number one. And I'll tell you what, we have quite a bit of room below there too, but this will already be over 100 tick move. So we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, print that. Let's see if I can remember to print screen. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work again. Alrighty. Okay. I really do want to print these. It's actually helped me in my in some of my reviews. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that worked. Okay, that's hypothesis number one. Hypothesis number two is going to be an open immediate push down, test this former VPOC, overnight VPOC, and overnight low, and see if we can't hold. Might even go all the way down to this swing here, hold, and then we start pushing back up, start rotating into these former microcomposite VPOCs and yesterday's close. If we can get into here, if we can get into yesterday's close up towards yesterday's value area low, we want to see if this holds. Then we're going to start expecting a move back down and seeing if we, one more time, retest this swing low and we go back into hypothesis one, where if we break it, this holds. We're looking for a push down. But I think the test of yesterday's value area low, test of yesterday's low, and test of yesterday's value area low could be very important to us. So that's going to be hypothesis number two. Hypothesis number three is going to be an open, immediate correction towards yesterday's low, a little bit of a failure, then make a push up through it, get into a little bit of chop here, get above yesterday's value area low, and then see if we can't hold above this high volume area where we have these two microcomposite VPOCs, and then a push into yesterday's value area coming to test the VPOC from yesterday. This will be hypothesis three, and that's pretty much all we got for today for oil. So let's bring this away here. Now we're just gonna sit tight and wait for the open. All right, 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. What time we got? Okay, I got a few minutes. So let's see here. I'm not going to bother pausing this for the few minutes. I'm not really going to go over too much. We will take a look. We will take a look to see how the BBs are looking. We do have strong positive divergence on the BBs off the creation of these overnight lows, but we're going to have to see what happens to that when the market actually opens. All right, so we are about a minute or so away from the open, minute and a half. We'll see what happens. Remember, again, today we're going to be placing orders all in, scale out. Okay, so we're going to be looking to take 3 contracts on every order that we trade. A little different than what we had been doing. I have been talking about this now for a while. Even though there are plenty of people around me that continue to insist I go live and go live immediately, there are some things I want to fine tune and test before before doing that, and this is one of them. Wanting to add order flow. I've talked about wanting to add a tool or two to my trading. I'm holding off on doing that. I can read order flow without it. Honestly, the wanting to add that tool is more for you guys than for me. It's a bit of a better visual representation of the order flow and the depth of market. But for me, I'm used to it enough to be able to read it without that. So that's the only reason I have not yet added those tools. But I am very interested in testing the idea of an all in scale out order strategy as opposed to a scale in scale out order strategy. Look at the size we have here on the offer, 384, 357 on the offer here, and we did just come up to it and it stayed. So I mean, this can disappear in an instant once the market opens. You know, the volume it would take to get through that would be no problem. But it'll be interesting to see if this holds as resistance here. And currently, it certainly did. Traded right away from it. Okay, so at this point, we've pretty much just got to watch. You know, we're not looking to take any trade here. We do have this really nice value area, low volume area here. And it's already marked off by one of these swings. So we're going to pay attention when we get up towards there. We might treat that as resistance. Remember, again, it is Wednesday morning. So it would not be surprising to see some chop at the open. We saw right off the bat a big sell order come in. Looks like the volume, the contracts available at each level have started to thicken up again. I see many over 100, almost none under 60. Which is so, you know, right there we have three, right, one under another with over 100 contracts right available there on the bid. And as we just came low offer, we see that starting to add on pretty fast too. So nice to see the liquidity. Remember, we had talked about, you know, my goal is 20 contracts in oil conservatively, 40 contracts aggressively. And I do think that 40 would be aggressive on days of volatility. If you're in a trade with 40 contracts and you're wrong, it did look like last week, if we get that same type of liquidity as we saw last week, where these levels were fairly thin, you know, 40s and 50s, looked like we would have been potentially could have had some slippage if we had that many contracts and tried to trade them all at once. So you know, it'll be interesting to see what we ultimately do and how far we can actually scale our size. Okay, so just kind of being patient here. No, sorry, wasn't paying attention. So blasted right through, and we can see that actually traded. We can see the volume that traded up there. Here we're getting up towards where we were talking about, looking at potentially a reversal, but we don't have any confirmation with the BBs. BBs are looking very strong since the open on every one of these time frames, and further buying is coming in here. Just saw a bid step up. Once again, big offer again. And that offer was there at the current price, so we just ticked away from it. But right here again, we just ticked away from it again. We're adding size here on the offer. Maybe we can get a bit of a push down. This could hold. This could be, you know, again, we have this low volume area. Never mind. We pushed through it again, but we didn't. Well, I shouldn't say that. We may have traded it. We didn't see too many large trades there. But looks like obviously right now the buyers are in control. We've just about come up to this low volume area here. Let's see what happens Remember, with these areas, we either move through them quickly. Generally, we either move through them quickly or we move away from them quickly. We saw a big seller step in there. I'm sorry, we saw a large trade go off here. Again, we have a large size right at the level that we're watching there. Looking for a pullback and an opportunity to buy here. Current high a day, 68. Would really like that pullback down towards this 21 EMA. It's a little early in the day, so we're a little bit looser on our 10 tick entry to high of day because it just hasn't been enough time to create that range. Big push down here. See, a lot of volume came, a lot of size came down with this push, so I'm going to watch that before I start doing anything. Still 126 contracts on the offer. You see, they're not really trading them, staying there with the size. So that's not a very convincing sign that we're looking to actually move up here. Nobody's trading that offer. It's just staying there, 111, 110. There's really not much happening to it. So no buyers are stepping in just yet. They're actually adding on right here. And we see it on the bid as well, but there it was. The offers just added on again. Once again, those offers are adding and they're staying. We're seeing a fight right here between bid and offer. Really, really tight stop. You know, if my bids here fail, then I'm gonna be out. Okay, so I'm not looking for this to come and test the current open of day. This is strictly based on the fact that we had strong bids here. We saw selling pressure come down. We saw the buyers step in, and now with the BBs in the upward direction that they are, we're gonna see if we can't get the buyers to step in and start pushing towards the high of day here. 4 tick risk, very, very tight stop. You're going to see that a lot in the style of trading that I'm testing here, okay? Let's see what happens here. Going to watch the BBs. You know, we want to be careful if we start consolidating. You know, can those BBs can really those BBs can flatten out and turn down. So we just want to pay attention to that. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here at 63. Big 297 here. Big offer. Bring this down a little bit. I want to get in right inside this low volume area. See if we can't get a push into it. Even if we fail, we could fail all the way at the top of it. But obviously, first things first, we got to get through this large offer, or this large offer's got to pull, which right now isn't happening. But buyers have been stepping up. They've stepped up here again. So we want to see them hold. Okay, we just had a little swing there, a little switch. BB still showing some strength. Sellers are coming back in, so it seems like sellers are going to look to defend up here. We do see the obvious size. We see that 266 contracts at 47.69. So we know obviously there are sellers with resting orders there, willing to sell at that price. Now, if buyers can step in and push up there to test that, let's see if we can't get some of these out of the way. We are our profit target is ahead of these two large orders. These are actually, I didn't notice if they were there when I moved it originally. So it's hard to say, but it is nice that we're ahead of those. And again, that can change. If price turns up, we can see more sellers step in below us. But right now we are ahead of that size. But what we need to see before then is we need to see the bid step up. We need to see trading happen on the offer, and we need to see the offers lift. So let's see what happens. So right now we're trading bid. We added on while we were trading at the bid. That's always a nice sign. Again, this is very, very microscopic. We did it again right there. Trading bid, but the contracts actually went up. So in this case, it went down further. We just added back on. That's a nice sign. But we're doing the same thing on the offer side. Okay, so again, right now we have a stalemate here. As we trade the bid, we see that we're adding on. As we trade the offer, we see that we're adding on. We're doing the exact same thing right now here. So we really just have to kind of wait and see. You see bids keep stepping up, but it's not scaring any of the sellers away. I'm not crazy about that. It's very possible that we have seen the test into this low volume area, and low volume area has held. So we really got to pay attention to that. Sometimes the best thing we can do is close a trade, not hitting our profit target, not hitting our stop loss. But I'm not quite ready to do that yet. But certainly, if that happens, you'll see it happen on my screen, and you'll hear me, of course, talk about it. So again, we're trading bid. Bid is adding size, but the offer is big sell right there. But the offer is certainly not getting away. Again, we're trading bid. The bid just added on, which is nice. Microscopically, that's nice. And remember, order flow can be overwhelming. We could see a lot of things in a very small price range that can very much be overwhelming. But right now, the only thing we're interested in is, can we get these bids to start stepping up, and can we get these offers to raise their price? That's the only thing we're watching. So we're back up to where we were. Offers refreshed. Looks like bids have just stepped up. There we go. Let's see if we can't get a push here. BB still looks strong. Nothing to scare us away. We have our large offers coming up if we can get to test them. Not able to push there just yet. We just saw offers pushing down. Bids have stepped in. We need to see our bids add on and push again. Okay, there we go. Let's get through some of these. Let's test those. So we keep touching these large offers here. This 96, we have not touched that 300 and some odd yet. This 96 here at 47.69, that currently has been keeping us down. Every time we go offer there, it pushes away. Let's see if we can't get a nice little push here. I believe that if we can get through this, we have a bit of a stop run in us. But we need to actually push through there. We need to at least actually test it before we can discover that. Okay, that was nice. That was nice. A big bid came up at the current market. We're adding size to the bid now, but we need to start trading this offer. See, we're still trading the bid. We need to start trading the offer here. There's a couple. Not much. Still more aggressively trading the bid here. I do like that when we... nice big sell came in there. Didn't like that. What was happening is, as we were trading the bid, it looked like the buyers were willing to absorb that, which is a good thing for us. But as I was about to say, that actually went away. So once again, that goes to show you how microscopic this is, how quickly the sentiment can change when you're looking at the order flow. So you don't put too much weight into it until you get to an area that is of importance to you, and that's why we took this trade on. Oh, big offer just came down here. Big offer just came down. What's nice is we're starting to lose a little bit of size here. It looks like those sellers are stepping down, but what we don't want to have happen is we don't want those sellers to step down and drive our price down. We need to see our buyers step in here like they have been. I'd like to see some large buy orders go off here at this bottom of this tiny consolidation here. BBs are still pointing in the way we want them to. We have not yet created negative divergence. Buyers have stepped in again here to hold the price up. Let's see if we can't build up a little bit of steam for a push up. Last significant pressure we just saw was from the sellers. So we just saw a seller jump in here at 66, but that was outside the current price. Okay, the current price is 65 on the offer. They came in above that, so we don't know if they're real or not. We'd have to actually get through this here. We have to get through 65 and trade 66 to see if this is for real. This is, remember I talk about seeing large orders come in at the market. So here how the sellers are stepping in. I'm not crazy about that for sure. Now let's see here that as we trade the offer. So they added on to the offer while we traded it, but buyers were able to push up again. Right now, basically, we're in a long trade from the bottom of a tight channel, right? Not a horrible place to be in a trade. However, we have our tight stop. Our tight stop is down below this swing low. At this point, that's really where it should be. That's not to say we're not going to get stopped out. Ooh, big offer just came in there. Big offer came in at current price. We need buyers to hold this here. That was a little more aggressive than we've seen by the sellers. We have to watch. I think that might happen again. You could see how this is still 250. This was over 300, so that amount's come down a little bit. It's possible some of those sellers have become aggressive and started pushing their price down. But this right now, this doesn't look great. Buyers reacted with strong buying pressure, but we need to now see it get back up to the top of this channel. Let's see if we can't, again, like I said before, build up a little bit of steam for this push up. Some of these sellers that we just saw step down, if buyers are able to step in, all those sellers ultimately are going to be short and wrong if buyers are able to step in, which makes those sellers have to turn into buyers. They have to close out those positions. So when that happens, that's when we get those little quick pushes. And right now, I think we're in a bit too thick of an area. We see how much trading is happening in such a small area. So I don't expect any quick pushes from here. I think we'd have to kind of guide our way up a little bit, a few ticks, before potentially seeing any of those push, or vice versa, guide our way down a few ticks before seeing any major pushes. But certainly right now, it seems to be more selling pressure than buying pressure. But I don't mind my trade position. I don't mind where I'm in from. I don't mind my stop loss. So I'm willing to sit through some of this until something changes. BBs still look good. It looks like if we were to get to the current high of day, we would be creating a current high with the BBs based on where they started the day at the pit session open. But I would like to see some order flow go in my favor here. I'd like to see us start trading these offers right now, which would be at 64. And I'd like to see those offers lose contracts and ultimately get away and let the bids come up. So I want that 8 to go away and go green, just like that. Now I want that to stay green. There it went. Went back to red. So now we're trading at these offers here. Again, we want that to go away and get a green background, meaning that the bids have come up. We want the bid to step up to 64. The big bid, saw that 145 came in at the current price. That was nice. Didn't quite get the push I would have liked from it, but that was nice. We did see buyers step in right there in the middle of this. Right here, it was 64. Another nice one here. Remember, 47.69 is where we kept bouncing up to and just failing pretty much immediately. Let's see what comes of this if we get there again. We're not going to make any assumptions. Nice push up here again. Here's 69. Let's see if we can't trade it a little bit. All right, we just went bid at 68. We need that to stack up. Let's get a nice large bid there. Nothing yet. See, the BB still look good. Big bid here. Big bid. Let's get through this 69. Let's test this large size here. We see 69 holding again. Ooh. That pushed us away pretty quickly. That 69 is really a stalemate here. Again, big bids came in. You know, we're seeing it happen. We're seeing it happen in a super tight range. You know, 69 to 66. Every time we trade 69, they're adding size. So right there, we just saw it come down. We need it. We need these bids to push. We need to keep trading. There we go. There we go. We got one. We're gonna come to break even. Actually, we're gonna come to the bottom of this channel now. And as we were saying, look, see the pretty close to the top of this low volume area held. That's why we had our profit target where we did. Speaking of which, we got to move these profit targets. Oopsie. Let's get this guy out of the way for sure. Let's get this guy out of the way for sure for now. All right, so now we need to get above here. See this here? If we can get above here, this can now potentially start acting as support. So we have yesterday's low here at 99. We're going to cheat it by 5 ticks. We'll come in at 94. I'm putting my stop to break even. I really don't want to see it come back down here. Truth be told, I'd like it to stay above this 66, 67 area. Remember right before this push, we saw that's what held. So I'd like to see that hold at this point. If it comes back through there, honestly, I'd look to, if I'm forced to re-enter the trade, if it comes back through and it stops me out and it sets up again real quickly in this consolidation, I'd probably take the trade. But if it fails up here, I have to believe that our next attempt is going to be down towards overnight VPOC. If it breaks up here, then I do think that we are going to test overnight value area high. And then actually, we're going to get some of this out of the way here. So let's see, I'm ahead of yesterday's low. Here's yesterday's close. 27, we'll come in at 22. And we'll leave that as our profit target there. Another big offer stepped in here. You know, one thing I've noticed, you know, in the old days, when you saw something like this, it didn't really matter how far away it was from the current price. You always traded away from it. In today's market environment, it seems to me that we tend to trade towards size, which is very, for a person who's traded the way I did and understand what I do, not that I'm right, it's just what I'm used to. That's very weird to me. You know, if I see a lot of people selling, I want to get the hell away from them. But in today's trading environment, generally speaking, when you see a lot of size, that's the direction we move towards. So it's a little bit counterintuitive for what I'm used to, but it just, you know, it is what it is. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to switch over to one contract if I decide to re-enter a position here. And I may, if we get a pullback down to that 66 area, you know, right around down here, and I see buyers step in again, I may look to add back on my one contract that I already closed. I'm not saying I will. You know, we'll play that if it happens. You know, we'll look again. We'll watch the order flow. We'll see what it looks like. You know, pretty much right around this opening range high, middle of the day, 21 EMA and VWAP. This whole area here. If we make a push down towards there, and I see buyers step in and hold. If it sets up for me, I would be willing to maybe take a trade. You know, I'm not crazy. I do still have this little fear here of a break below this 66. Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. This is a good spot. Okay, so now again, I'm not necessarily expecting anything to happen quickly. It is Wednesday morning. I do like that we traded through that low volume area. I don't like that we have come back below it. We are now potentially setting up for negative divergence at the current high of day on at least two of the three, the 610 and 987. 1597 really is flat, has not yet turned down, and I believe if we were to turn back up, that it would lose its negative divergence. Let's start paying attention here. Okay, there's a sharp push down, even more so. Big sell just came in at the offer. Big offer came down at current price. We're going to take one on here. Really, really, really tight stop with it. Switch this back to 3. Because in the event we get stopped out, if we get into a trade, I want it to be for all 3 contracts. Big sell just came in. I think we're going to be in trouble here. 66 was the spot that held before. So as I said, once we break through it, so that's okay. You know, we had our stop right under that 66. If it doesn't hold, we don't mind being out. Now, we do still need to watch. It is possible that we're going to see buyers step back in here and want to react to that. So let's see here again. We got through the low volume area, but it turned right back down. So let's see if buyers step in here. So far, no. See again, big offer coming in at the current price. Some buyers just stepped in here. As we're trading this offer, they're lifting. Will 66 become this support again? You can see here again, as we're trading the bid, we're adding size, but sellers have not gone away. Sellers are still being willing to push here, it looks like. Trading at the offer right now. Okay, now we're trading the bid, lowering the size of the bid. They just added on a little bit. But we are hitting the bid now. Okay, taking offers. Buyers do seem to be strengthening here a little bit. Might have gotten stopped out, and they're going to make another push. So here again, sellers are coming down, increasing their size. We're trading offers right now. All right, so we're taking these offers, but they're adding size while we're up there, while we're trading there. Now we just hit bid, and let's see what happens to the bid here. All right, now that offer has lowered. Oh, bid's back. Here again, this is that 66. We saw this area hold. Not something that I would use as an entry right now. That would be pretty aggressive. We have turned down in the BBs on the 610, on the 987, flattening out on the 1597. Although the 1597 is not really showing any type of decline. That one tells me that if we, according to the 1597, if we make a push back up, we will attempt to break the current high day. However, we're going to see now, we're going to start watching up in these swing areas here, all the way through the upper end of this value area, this low volume area. I keep calling it value area. I'm sorry about that. Into this low volume area here, we're going to watch to see if we get some sellers step in again. Remember, 69 is where they stepped in before, and then ultimately we did get a push through. We could see a large trade went off there at 69 just now. Rest assured, we're not the only ones seeing it. Okay, there's a push through. BBs are definitely showing negative divergence on the 610 and the 987. Just had equities open. We can see the S&P starting to trade it. We didn't do any homework on it, so unfortunately, none of my lines are accurate. Remember, I haven't adjusted anything since Friday, so please disregard any swings or VPOC or anything like that are on there. So again, sorry about that. We can see a bit of a head and shoulders formed here. Let's draw that out for you. We can see here. Wait a minute here. My pen's not working. 1 second. See if I can't get that to work. Oh, I really should be paying attention for a short here. I missed my trail. I was fucking around with my pen. There's our potential head and shoulders forming. Darn it. It's okay. Let's see here if we get lucky, buyers will step in, give me another shot here at the short. I do like, from a short perspective, how the BBs have turned down. Did get through this old 69 level, but not by much, only a few ticks, and we saw that push down. 66 was really the area on the bid that was holding. We see we've come down to test 63. So let's see if we can't get another push here and a potential setup for a short. But don't want to get over anxious. We don't want to just throw a trade in here because we're not in any position. Extended this little consolidation by 1 tick, came down to 62. And then we saw buyers step in to try to hold it up. But I don't think that's really going to work out so well. Again, BB's definitely showing downward momentum. Big offer just came in at the price. Buyers step right back up against them, and here come back the offers. Mm-hmm. You can see buyers stepping in. However, last time we saw this just a few seconds ago, it was followed by a large push by the sellers. There was one right there. I actually really liked what I just saw there. So I'm going to take a short. Coming up above overnight VPOC with my profit target. Again, tight stop. I am going to pay very close attention to what happens down here with the buyers. We saw buyers step in down here before to push it back up. Right now, we need to see the sellers come in. We just saw sellers step in right where I took my short. Now we need to see them push down, which is not happening. Might have tricked me right here. Need to see us hit those bids. Those bids are stepping in. We're trading offers. Really not what I was hoping to see here. Bids keep coming up here at 63. Not gonna lie, I don't like what I'm seeing right now. I think we're going to be pushed out of this trade here. Buyers really stepped in. They tricked me there. Really looked like sellers had shifted the momentum down, and buyers just kept coming in down here. That one got me. Keep in mind, I had been talking about looking for a pushback up to get short. I just got in a little bit early. I actually really still want to be short this trade, but let's give it a second here. Let's give it a second. VWAP is holding right now. All right, here comes our short again. It really does seem. Looks like I just got into my first one a little early. Although I might be right around the same price, I now got to see sellers step back in at the top here, which looks like that could complete our head and shoulders pattern. But now we need to see that. So we got to get through this low here. This held last time. It held well. Really don't want to see that happen again. Unbelievable. There we go. Come on now. Come on, sellers. Let's push this down. Hit those bids. Buyers are stepping in once again. It's a real strange place for it to just turn around there. Hopefully it's temporary. We see some people stepping in their bid right down here. Let's see if sellers can't just start to get through some of this. You gotta believe that there are some buyers on the way down, which could turn into sellers. That could give us just a quick little pop through our first profit target, which reminds me, time to move some profit targets. Definitely one we want to be above low of day. Let's come up. Actually, this is a good one. We'll go one tick. I genuinely don't see or understand what is causing this, other than order flow. Obviously, as we come down, we see buyers stepping in. I just don't see what it is that they're using as their reasoning for stepping in. The good thing for us is that we have been keeping our stops tight. In the event there was a nice big offer came down to current price. Let's see if we can't get another couple of those. Flush this out here. There's another one right there. One more, get us down to our profit target here. Again, buyers step back in. Let's get another push down, large offer come down. Okay, so while that's happening, I'm going to bring in my homework chart for a second here. I'm going to stretch this out because I have way too much information in front of me. We have this swing here at 47.20, and I have nothing underneath it. So I'm going to get a little bit greedy here, because I am going to be stepping away from the screen in just a bit. Let's see what we're doing here. BBs are definitely showing downward momentum now. I'm very tempted to move my first profit target. $46. I really don't like. I really, really don't like where these buyers are stepping in from. Let's see if sellers can't build up some strength on this move up here. What time is it? I'm not seeing sellers step in at all right now. All buyers. Need to see some of these large offers come down. Let this be an area. Let this be an area where the sellers decide, okay, this is the top that we're letting it come to, and now we're going to see if we can't get a push down. Remember, we're looking to get through overnight VPOC towards overnight low. Keep in mind, we do have inventories coming out, so certainly will not be able to be in a trade at that point. That was some nice selling right there. I'm sorry, those were some nice offers right there. I can't necessarily say that trades went off, but those were some nice offers right there. There we go, hitting bids. That's what we want to see. Hitting bids and offers coming down right behind them. No, not that. Okay, there we go, hitting bids again. Big bids. Buyer stepped in one more time. I have to say at this point, it looks like the buyers really want to see if they can't push this back up. I really, really don't like how this is panning out. I honestly did not expect this to bounce like this before getting to overnight VPOC, let alone overnight low. Buyers keep stepping in here at this 62, 47, 62. Now they're stepping in at 63. I know it's only one tick, but when you get into a battle like this, every tick matters. You know, we need to see VWAP hold. I'd like to see today's VPOC hold. And really, I need to see sellers, you know, even if it's microscopic at this point, I need to say that's not happening. Buyers continue to put pressure to drive this up. Nice response there by the sellers. Nice response, but we need to actually get down. See, we're trading bid here, but it's not dropping. There we go. Offer came in, but we need to see size push down. So the offer came in and it got wiped right away. Bids came right back. Still showing heavy buying strength here. There's more. Not good. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Still negative divergence up here, so I am still looking for a short opportunity. Is it really going to stop me out and turn? We still see buying strength here, so we're going to look to see if that dries up. Certainly didn't. Look at that big bid come up here. Okay, here we go. I'm early on this one. I really should have let the order flow develop a little bit more. Actually, I got a bad fill on this one too, but that's okay. See, I didn't let the sellers start establishing their presence yet. I entered the trade really based on price more than anything else, and without the sellers being there, that's not enough. Big negative divergence up here. I don't know why. I don't know where these fills are coming from. I'm getting horrible fills here. Okay. Let's get my one thing I didn't take into account as I was getting into these trades, I didn't take into account the Wednesday factor that I really should have been expecting a bit of a tighter range and not such drastic moves. But that being said, we are where we are. We've seen sellers hold up here so we held a little bit, we broke, came right back below it. Let's see if this low volume area can hold one more time. But sellers have yet to establish themselves. It still has been more buying pressure than selling pressure. So we have not. There was a nice little switch there. We have not yet seen the sellers get back in control. Not necessarily by seeing the price move, but by seeing the order flow. See, price can move for one of a few reasons. One, let's talk about price going down. Price can go down because there are no buyers, or price can go down because there are a lot of sellers. So we really want to see the combination of the two. The combination of the two is what makes for the most drastic price movement. But more importantly, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd rather see it move down because there are a fair amount of sellers and they will continue to push their price down. That to me would tend to be a better move. When you see the combination of the two, something like a stop run is a combination of the two, where you have all these orders waiting to get filled, and there's really nobody to fill them, and that's when you see a really fast move on the chart. All right, guys, I am gonna have to run. We'll leave this trade on. I will try to get back in front of the screen. I probably won't turn on the video, but before 10:30, just so I can close out of the trade wherever it's at that point, because I don't want to get any fake fill. If I happen to be in the trade and it spikes 100 ticks in my favor and gets my profit target at the news report, that's not that's not really fair or accurate. So, okay, if as usual, if you guys have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Bye-bye now.